Hello, everyone. It is really good to be with you all and see your faces today. My name is Dom Kelly. I founded and lead New Disabled South. We're a disability rights and justice organization working across 14 southern states. I'm honored to be here today to close out this rally and this incredible 60-hour vigil. I wish I could say I'm happy to be here, but the truth is I'm angry that once again we have to be here on the anniversary of the ADA, at that, to yell about why Medicaid saves lives and why it's immoral to take away health care from anyone, let alone children. I'm one of a set of triplets, all diagnosed with cerebral palsy when we were a year old. My parents relied on Medicaid to get my brothers and me the services that we needed in our own home instead of being put in an institution. When my triplet brother Paul died suddenly when we were 6 years old, Medicaid was a lifeline for my parents to ensure that we could continue to get what my identical brother and me needed as we started school. And where I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and where New Disabled, yes, Atlanta, Georgia, and where New Disabled South works across the southern U.S., we have 1/3 of all disabled people in this country. The majority of disabled people in the South are Black and brown, and the vast majority live in rural areas with little access to health care as it is. Hospitals have been closing at record numbers, and these cuts to Medicaid passed by Congress will only increase these closures in states like mine, where 9 counties already don't have a single doctor. In the South, we have 75% of all people on waiting lists for home and community-based services. And based on my organization's own research, the majority of those people waiting are Black. These cuts will only exacerbate these disparities. Once again, ableism and racism intertwining and being legislated. This big, ugly bill that Congress passed takes away critical healthcare and services from families like mine who desperately need it. And now as a father myself, I cannot imagine the helpless feeling of not knowing if my child will get what she needs to simply survive day to day. It is legislating cruelty for cruelty's sake. Shame! As we all know, this bill also cuts tens of millions of dollars in food stamps for families who can barely afford to put foods on their tables. Shame! And now millions of families will lose both access to health care and to food, forcing children to starve, all in the name of saving money. If this is to save money and weed out waste, fraud, and abuse, why then is Congress willing to send hundreds of billions of dollars to Israel to perpetuate a genocide and ethnic cleansing against the Palestinian people? Billions of dollars a year for our military, for wars, at the expense of our own children? The passing of this bill while funding endless wars and genocide says clearly that Congress's favorite bipartisan pastime is starving and killing the world's children. As a proud Jewish person, I was taught Pikuach Nefesh, one of the most important principles of Jewish law, which means that whoever saves a single life has saved the whole world. Whether it's a life in Gaza or Iran or here in DC or in Tulliver County, Georgia, the people we elect should be focused on saving lives, not taking them. It is unacceptable that in 2025 we are still fighting to protect health care for the people who need it most. And as a disabled person, it's enraging. As a human being, it is unacceptable. The stories we've heard these past 60 hours have been both devastating and affirming of our purpose. We must keep fighting to ensure that those who rely on Medicaid can continue to access this vital lifeline. But we also must think differently about our collective future. What are we building together? How are we helping each other survive this moment and beyond? Are we building care webs, supporting mutual aid efforts? Are we making sure this critical survival work is also a strategy for building power? Are we making sure that Black and brown, Indigenous, queer and trans, poor, and other multiply marginalized disabled people are being centered by those of us with privilege? Are we dreaming about the long generational arc of humanity and organizing to make that dream real for 4, 5, 6, or more generations to come? This moment calls for courage and calls for unity against authoritarianism. It calls for our rejection of partisanship and our coming together in solidarity as working class people. It calls for us to connect with our neighbors, invest time in conversation, and do deep political education. It calls for cross-movement organizing. It calls for us to take care of each other. And despite all of our pain, I still have hope that together we can build a new future. Disabled people's lives are worth living, despite what our elected politicians say. In closing, in the words of my beloved friend, Joan Baez, action is the antidote to despair. So let's keep up the action. We cannot slow down, and say it with me, I believe that we will win. 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 Thank you.
To all